What up everyone, it's your man Xman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video. And what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock action figure review. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's go! This definitely looks like Alfred Molina to me. I like the likeness, I think it's a good head sculpt. The glasses, why are they looking warped, man? That's funny, on hand, I didn't notice it, but here, looking behind my camera, it looks a little warped, like it's crooked. As you can see, like the left lens just looks like it's gonna poke his eye out. It's just weird. But I do like the gradient on the lens. That's what I like. You can see his eyes behind it. That looks so good. And I just feel like that adds more to the likeness, too. Yeah, great hair sculpt too. I dig it. And the rest of the body looks pretty damn good. We'll get to the tentacles in a minute because that's always a highlight for every Doc Ock figure. And it deserves its own set of coverage. So definitely don't want to leave out the details here on the main body because there's a lot to look at. I like the texture on the shirt. And it's definitely a No Way Home look. You know, the box says Spider-Man 2. It's really No Way Home. Some people get worked up about the box. To me, I don't. It's just a box, whatever. It's a marketing thing. They had some licensing issues, whatever. You know, real judgment comes from the figure here, and it's definitely No Way Home. Wow, there's a lot of people questioning this No Way Home figure under a Spider-Man 2 labeled box. I'm questioning more as to how the hell he got this black shirt tucked underneath the harness, because wasn't this supposed to be fused on his body? See, no need to trip about the box. It's the same character from the same universe, or Toby's universe, right? It's from another timeline. Wait, wouldn't that make him a variant of? It's from another timeline? You know what, man? It's too early in the morning to review. I don't do my best thinking in the morning. So, note to self. Don't review in the mornings. I'm not a morning person. Oh yeah, it hurts to think right now, but someone in the comments will probably explain it better and I'll be like, ah, yep, that's right, I got it now. The turtleneck is a part of the sculpt from the shirt. It's not a separate piece, and because of that, I do feel like there was a missed opportunity here because he doesn't have a double jointed neck, so it would have been nice if he had a double ball peg for the neck to get more range there. I feel like he would have gotten a lot more movement. The movement there is not bad. We'll get to that in articulation later. The jacket, it's a double piece jacket, and that's pretty nice. I like that. However, you know, the jacket, it's gonna hinder articulation. It makes the figure feel, it's not comfortable. It definitely makes the figure feel uncomfortable to hold because it starts, you know, hindering areas like the legs. That's always my biggest gripe. They should have went for soft goods here. I felt like that would have been a lot easier to handle. You got his harness here, and I don't know why it doesn't match the same color as the tentacles. His harness should be the same color as the tentacles here, and it's a like gunmetal gray. This is just a very, very light gray. Got some paint applied on the zippers and the buttons. Really nice texturized details here on the jacket. I do like that. And then one thing to know is that when you bend the arms, I'm happy that this piece right here doesn't stick out too far, because that's one thing that annoys me with single jointed arms sometimes, is that you'll have, especially if it's a character that has like a jacket, this part of the elbow always seems to stick out far, and yeah, it doesn't look good. I like that it's kind of going with the flow right there. And the single jointed arms don't bother me. It passes the 90-degree mark, and that's all I care about. They could have done double jointed, sure, but what if they did double jointed and didn't pass the 90-degree mark like you do here? You get more range here, so again, I'm fine with this. Just like the jacket, you get great texturing on the pants as well. So, you know, pinless, you know, it's a new mold, obviously. And it looks great. Again, it looks great. I gotta say, this is probably one of their best looking pants that they've done on a figure with slacks. So it does flow pretty well, as it looks kind of hemmed on the bottom right there, going towards the shoes. So it looks good. Get some seam work right there on the top of the shoes. You get the shoelaces right there. Treads. I think you even get some seam work on the gloves too. Yeah, you can see it around his fingers on these fists. So yeah, they look good. So good attention to details on the clothing. And back of the jacket too, you get some more seam work and more texturized details, and you can see the rips right around the tentacles, so that looks pretty good. I like that. Alright, the tentacles here, the main highlight of the figure. They look and feel nice, I will say that. Function-wise though, I'm a little conflicted, because while it is sturdy and pliable, it's... that's where I feel like it causes a problem sometimes, just because when I say I want to, hook this tentacle over, it tends to pull back, and it doesn't want to stay in the place that I want it to stay at. As you can see, it keeps moving back and moving back and moving back. And I did not heat it up because I wanted to see how this functions. I heard that you have to heat it up, so that it can move better. But to me, I wanted to review it stock-wise, right, like how it is out of the box, not modifying anything, because then that would negate an honest review. You can't rotate it. That might cause a problem for some. For me, I do wish I had that ability to rotate it, but, it's just not there. And the sculpting to the tentacles are really, really nice, man. I just feel like it needs paint, like some sort of dry brushing to highlight those details. You know what I mean? Instead of just leaving them as a solid gray. And, hold on a second. Wait, I just noticed this. This has the nanotech stuff sculpted on it. So, oh, man, they didn't paint it at all. That's supposed to have paint? Oh, what the hell? Yeah, even on the claws, too, these were supposed to have paint. They just painted the insides right here. The claws are articulate, so you can see there's some, you get some slight paint details in there. And you get the, the red paint right there in the middle. But another thing is, when you close it, it doesn't look fully closed. It's kind of gappy a little bit. So I kind of wish there was some tabs inside here that you can just tab in together and it could close. But, it's alright. It's worse on this one. This one doesn't close all the way. Another thing is that I wish there was a double hinge right here, so you could have more of a grabbing claw kind of gesture. And, yeah, that would have been nice, The Toy Biz one definitely had better claws. And you also get some paint inside these bottom claws. Measuring the tentacle's length, it's about 8.5 inches, maybe close to 9, so it's a good length. The tentacles will still do a good job coiling up a Spider-Man figure, so if you want to coil up a Spider-Man figure and you just want to see how he wraps around them, he will. And damn it, this freaking claw always pops off. So these tentacles are 4 times stronger in the bendy wire. They didn't need to be that strong. Honestly, it depends what you want to accomplish with it. So for me, when it comes to coiling up a figure, yeah, you can still get it done, but I feel like the animated series Doc Ock tentacles are easier to coil up a figure because I could create 2 loops with it, whereas this one I can only create 1. Now, when it comes to levitating the figure and standing it on the legs, definitely you need 4 times the bendy wire with this, because you can't really accomplish it with this. As far as keeping it steady and balanced, yeah, I mean, you can still levitate them, but it's gonna fall. It's not gonna hold. This will definitely hold. So both tentacles serve their purpose for different things, and one thing's for sure that we can agree on is that the tentacles need paint, man. Both tentacles need to be painted. Now for accessories, he's got 2 open hands, and then he's got the bottom flat claws, and you can see there's no paint details like the other claws. But yeah, you can stand them up real nice, and he levitates. That's why he needed 4 times the bendy wire, as you can see. And he's got some pretty good height when standing on those bottom legs. As I measure him up, he's about 10 inches tall, so some good height. And 4 times the bendy wire is showing his true strength right here. As you can see, I have the 2 movie Spider-Man coiled up in his upper tentacles, and the bottom tentacles are planted nicely on the surface. So yeah, in that aspect, when you can pull off a display like this, these tentacles are very impressive. Now to go over articulation, as I mentioned earlier, his head is on a ball joint, so he looks about that far up, that far down. See, if he was on a double ball peg neck, he would look a lot further up and down. Head moves left and right. He does have some nice pivoting, so that's good. His arms can move up about that far up, slightly higher than the T-pose. And you could swing them up and down, and you got the bicep swivel there, elbow swivel as well. You got the single joint right there at the elbow, wrist swivel, and a wrist hinge. Some butterfly joints would have been nice though. It would have been hidden so well behind this jacket. He does have a swivel at the waist, so he's got that belly rocker motion, so you could rock it around and it can pivot. Rocking it around is just gonna be a pain because this damn jacket, it just hinders so much, especially in the leg area. You can move it out that far, but if you're trying to move it back, you're not gonna get that much range. You can move it up that high. He's got the rock around motion on the legs, the thigh area, it swivels. You got double jointed knees, and you do get heel to the Doc Ock butt, so the ankles move up and down, gets a lot of range down, and you can pivot them. And what's funny is that for some reason, I don't know why, this one doesn't move up as much. I wish there was a little more up movement, whereas this one's, for some reason, the left foot moves up slightly higher than the right foot. I don't know why is that. And yeah, that's just pretty. Oh, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. The freaking. Oh, guys, look at this. See the front part right here? You see the laces right there, and then right here, laces are on the back, not the front. Damn, and the ankles don't swivel, so I can't fix it. Oh, I got plagued with the QC, bruh. Oh, no wonder something looked off, man. Damn. Not the worst QC in the world, but still a QC, so I'll try to seek a replacement. It's that time for comparisons, and here I have the movie Doc Ock next to the comic Doc Ock. Here he is next to another Doc Ock from another media, the 90s Spider-Man animated series Doc Ock. Here is Doc Ock next to all the Spider-Mans from No Way Home. Lastly, here he is next to some other villains from No Way Home, Green Goblin and Sandman. Alright, now to wrap things up, my final rating is an 8 out of 10. Doc Ock is a good figure that should be great. It looks good to the eye, but once I had it on hand, that's when I started noticing a lot of flaws. And I went back to watch this video again as I'm editing to see if I was nitpicking, but I wasn't. It's not nitpicking if things are evidently not there on the figure. I feel that there's validity in the things I pointed out. So where this figure should be rated a 9 or above, it's in the 8 area for me from what it's missing. I like the figure. I think it's a cool figure, but I'm totally conflicted on these tentacles. It looks cool, but at the same time, it doesn't. For one, it's a crime that it's not painted at all as a $40 figure, being the main highlight of Doc Ock's visual appeal. No paint just makes it look dull and bland. Should have been more film accurate. Don't think we'll ever get a true film accurate tentacles because of those see-through gaps that'll make it difficult to input the bendy wire function. Toy Biz was the closest but didn't have the length as where these do. Sometimes, actually all the time, it's just too damn stiff. But I guess it had to be that way to sacrifice some mobility to do other things with having 4 times the bendy wire. And I love that he can stand on the bottom legs. That's what I've been wanting from a Doc Ock figure so bad, and he can still support more weight when coiling up another figure. So for that, I'll take that trade. Color me impressed there. I guess I'm being greedy as I wanted a little bit more. I want to display him with both legs levitating him, but unfortunately, it doesn't hold for long. Each time I try it holds for about 10 minutes and then he falls. My patience was being tested. So if you want to display him like that, I recommend the flight stand for support. Otherwise, he's going to keep knocking down figures on your shelf. Another thing, I'm getting really tired of these plastic jackets because you always want a figure to feel good in your hands. That's how we know a figure is great, when it feels good in the hand and easy to move around, but it can be a bit uncomfortable to pose the figure around the diaphragm area and maybe some poses you want to do with the legs. My key takeaways from this figure that I like are all the claws. Wish T had his needle one, but they gave us enough with 3 different sets of them, with one of them being articulate. Again, I'm being greedy, but sometimes I gotta accept what's there, and again, I feel like this is a good offering. in terms of the accessory department. The Alfred Molina likeness, it's spot on to me in my opinion. The strength of the bendy wires, the aesthetics are beautiful. He's still going to be a top 10 movie figure for me this year. So yeah, while I think this figure is cool and provides some fun, I think it was overhyped. I was hyped about it until it didn't meet my expectations once I got it in hand. Not saying they did a bad job, but when you factor in the price, they didn't do the job right. Please, Hasbro, next time you release a $40 figure, just do us a favor. Please paint your stuff. For $40, I think we deserved better than just a good figure robbing us from all the details. We deserved something greater with all kinds of details for this iconic movie villain that we waited 20 years for an update. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think of this movie, Doc Ock? Are you happy with it? Not happy? Or are you conflicted with it like I am? Who's the next Spider-Man movie figure you want next? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. That was my review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next review. Peace, peace.